What goes through a cheater's mind during the affair? Please read. Cheaters are dumb. Something is wrong with their heads. The deceived spouse is most harmed by the lying and gaslighting. If a cheater just says, "Yes, I'm sorry I cheated on you, you were a wonderful person, and I screwed up," at the very least, the deceived spouse may find some closure. But with cheaters, it's "I haven't loved you for 20 years," when in reality, you have 100 kids together that they wanted, tons of vacation, they smiling in every picture, they were always happy, people comment on how much they love you, etc. I was never happy. I never knew what love was until I met the affair partner. She is my soul mate. I met my affair partner 2 hours ago and feel a stronger connection with them than I did with you for the last 100. This is what truly bothers the betrayed spouse, because they begin to believe the falsehoods and attempt to make sense of it for years. The joke is that there is no logic, that making sense of a cheater's action is a waste of time, and that they would lie through their teeth to avoid accepting responsibility. Suddenly, even the way you prepared their coffee was revolting, and they were forced to suffer for years while sipping your trash coffee. Their affair partner is so broke that they put in a cup and get it to them every morning instead of coffee. But you know what? That in a cup is still better than your lousy coffee. Once the cheaters begin to live a normal life with their affair partner, they discover that, indeed, the AP is human, that they too have weaknesses, and so on. You see, they are not having a genuine relationship throughout the affair. It is a dream. There isn't much arguing or anything, since with the short time they spend together covertly, they don't have time to squander. When the urine in the cup becomes less wonderful, the affair fog starts to dissipate. It is critical to remember that a cheater and their affair partner were not in a true relationship throughout the affair. For example, the cheater and their dumb AP chose to dance in the rain at random, thinking it was so romantic. 2 weeks later, it's raining and they invite you to come dance in the rain. You say no, you've had the coronavirus, pneumonia, and a cold for the last 100 years, surgery scheduled on your entire body, and you can't get sick because you need to work to pay all the bills. And the cheater claims you're not romantic like their AP because you said no. The cheater, you see, is testing you throughout the affair. If the affair partner opens the vehicle door for them, they place you in a position to see whether you would open the car door. This is how they justify the AP having more in common with them. When you can never do anything right, this is very important to realize. What's going on is that they're comparing a 2-week romance with some guy who simply wants to get in their pants so they can switch on the love bomb, to a 20-year marriage with genuine obligations. Also, throughout the affair, the cheater is telling their AP just what they need and what you are doing incorrectly. It's the equivalent as handing someone the exam answers. For instance, if he never texts me good morning, the affair partner will suddenly send the cheater good morning, and the cheater would think, "OMG, you understand me. I told you that, and you did it right away. I couldn't get my husband to SMS me good morning for the past 20 years. The AP has it so simple, since all they have to do is do precisely what the cheater tells them not to do. This is why cheaters fall so deep into affair fog so fast, and why they use works like "My AP is my soul mate," "Genuine love," "I cannot live another day without them," and so on. You see, the AP is providing a very small subset of what the cheater feels they are missing in the relationship, like 2%, compliments, dumb stuff, etc., while you are providing the other 98%, paying bills, taking care of kids, laundry, cooking, cleaning, supporting the entire family, power washing the driveway, changing the water pump in the car, re-roofing the entire house. I am emphasizing that you have a real relationship with responsibility. The cheater is unaware that the AP only meets 2% of their wants. Instead, they believe that the AP meets 1,000% of their needs. This is why a stay-at-home mom would abandon a billionaire for a convicted criminal with 8 children and an endless number of children he is unaware of. When they begin a true relationship and bills cannot be paid, he is not caring for her children, and it is absolute 0 degrees Kelvin in the home during the winter. The cheater realizes what they had. They suddenly realize they can't survive off on praises, and so on. Please, everyone who has been cheated on, move on. It stinks, but use it as a learning opportunity to live your best life. Story 2. I, female 27, Am considering calling off my wedding to fiancé, male 36. I've been engaged to my fiancé for 1 year and we've been together for 3. We're supposed to marry in 3 months, but I'm not sure we should. My fiancé is a kind person. We have a really good relationship because we are hardworking, kind, loving, and family-oriented. We've spent a lot of time together during lockdown and honestly consider each other to be our best buddy. The issue is that he had a major drinking problem, which often leads to drug addiction. To be clear, none of these are an issue in moderation, but the amount to which he gets carried away is. He is not a heavy drinker or an alcoholic, rather, on a few instances when he has begun, he gets extremely carried away, doesn't know where to draw the line, and makes really terrible judgments. Since we met, he has been extremely cognizant of his connection with alcohol and has gone through extended periods of sobriety during which he has been happier and healthier. But I believe he suffers with social pressure at first, then gets carried away. We've also had a lot of good moments drinking with each other. Aside from the alcohol problem, I believe we have a pretty nice connection. We get along well with each other's family and friends, spend a lot of time together, and typically work well through problems. Staying out with pals all night until 10 a.m. has created issues in the past, and he once didn't return until 6 p.m. the following day. Another time when he returned, I discovered some text messages from a female from the past, but they were explicit exchanges, no photographs from him, both ways. This was followed by an apology, a behavioral modification, and 1 session of relationship therapy. This occurred 1.5 years ago. More recently, while I was out of town for around 4 months, he went out with a few buddies and ended up with a stranger male after his friends had gone home. He took this individual back to our house, and I discovered photos of him licking this man's. He claimed that they were planned jokes intended to persuade a buddy to join them. He was intoxicated and high and didn't thoroughly examine what he was doing tough in that condition, and didn't believe it was cheating in any manner at the time, but now knows why it is. I believe this because it is something he would do, and I don't believe he is interested in males. Nonetheless, this is a severe transgression, and I was ready to call it quits on the engagement. However, he informed me that he truly wanted to change, that he attempted to check himself into rehab. They wouldn't accept him since he isn't addicted to alcohol and isn't a danger, and that he began seeing an alcohol counselor. This was followed by months of not drinking, followed by an effort at gradual reintroduction with the help of a therapist. Following this, there have been a few occasions when we have gotten carried away and drank excessively together. Wedding, sports match. And I believe I am partly to blame for this, since he had not drunk like that unless I was around. He also said that he would not have more than 3 drinks while I am not around, and he has been true to his word. These events are likely to number in the tens, and they have been less common in recent years. He informed me last night that he was heading to a client at 6 p.m. His business demands a lot of client entertainment, and that he would then need to work until about 3 a.m. He is quite senior in a demanding job, and this is not unusual. However, he put his phone on airplane mode at 7 p.m., and I couldn't reach him until 1 a.m. when he switched it back on to conserve battery. He apologized for getting carried away and phoned me back. This was more than 3 drinks and no touch, even though he did let me know what he was doing for 6 hours. He had to return to the workplace to complete some emails. I knew he was at work since he was emailing me from his computer when his phone died. He then returned home from work. Because of what has occurred in the past, I am really concerned while he is drinking, particularly if he is not reachable. I realize this wasn't very severe, but it seems like the last straw, and I'm not sure whether it's worth rebuilding from here. I'll want to make rules for him to follow, which he won't want to do but will most likely do resentfully. I'm not sure it would satisfy either of us in the long term. I would have no worries if drinking was not a part of our relationship, but I'm not sure whether it would work.